Hey all, can you hear me? Let me just check whether the streaming has started. Yes, we are online. All good. Good morning, guys. Hope you guys are around. Let me get started. Okay, so today what's happening is if you look at the last 4 days, this is the S&P 500 futures. If you look at the last 4 days, we have been range bound. On the top, as I remarked yesterday, there is some kind of a resistance out here. I had drawn the line yesterday. I'm going to put that back again. I don't want to clutter this too much, but this is a line of resistance. And it has been tested multiple times, both from upside and downside. And we have held within that. And this is a line of support at the bottom. And this is a variable line of support, I would say. And it's a dynamic line of support. And the support level keeps on going up. So this range is becoming narrower as the days go by. And why is this happening? I think it's happening. One is because we are in a standby position for the Fed rate cut in December, that is this month. The second thing is that we have the Japanese yen unwind situation that could take place. And that's another risk that I think the market is observing. And therefore, we have this kind of a situation where we are consolidating. So today at around 8:30 a.m., we will be able to see the ISM services PMI reading, which becomes a major data. Hi, hot dog. Thanks for joining. So ISM PMI data is the major data that's going to be available to the Fed, and that could influence their rate cut decision to a certain extent, and the yen unwind possibilities are something else that could come into the play. And therefore, we have been in a hold pattern for the last 4 days. One of those factors is going to be resolved today at around 8:30 a.m. with the ISM services PMI out. So from 8:30 a.m. onwards, this trend that we are seeing here can potentially change. Instead of being positive, it could also tend towards negative. So that possibility still remains. But right now, if I take a snapshot, I think this resistance is still going to hold for the day. It did in the past, so it's likely to hold for today unless the services PMI gives additional confidence. And in that case, we'll start converting this resistance into a support. So I'm going to leave this line here for now, and we'll revisit it tomorrow. And this is resistance at 6,859. Right now, we are at 6,858.75. And then we have a support, which for today is going to be at 6,811.25. So this is the range for S&P 500 futures. Then we have NASDAQ futures, which is up 0.21% in pre-market trades. And we have a resistance for NASDAQ futures at 25,729.50. So that's going to be our resistance for today. Again, market sentiment, which was bearish, is improving. MACD is already bullish. Momentum is above average. So we are in a much superior situation today than we were yesterday, which could also be the expectation that the ISM services PMI will come out favorable. The dollar index is going down. It's continuing to be below 99.190. So this is today's candle, and tomorrow's candle, if it closes below 98.943, that could show dollar weakness. And again, that could kind of push the yen unwind further. Now we have VIX, which is down 1.6%. We had marked this diagonal line of support yesterday. We are being held back by that today. So VIX is getting much more comfortable. VIX is saying, not much to worry about. So which would mean that the markets are likely to go upwards. So these are all the competing forces that seem to be working on the price action today. Gold is up 0.12%. I have drawn a new line out here. This is looking like a very crazy chart, but I'm drawing a temporary line out here, which traces back from 1st of August. It gave support on 1st of August. It again gave support on 11th of August. It performed the role of a support on the 2nd of September. And then again, it came into play on the 5th of November. Then on the 17th, 18th, 20th, 21st, and 24th of November, and here we are. So I would reasonably expect a support to be present today at 4134.172. However, the quality of this support is not that strong. The reason why I say it's not that strong is that in the recent past, we have hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times, which means the next time it hits, the chances of it going down below this line of support is maybe, I would say, 70% chance for it to go down. So I'm putting it out there to show you that we are likely to gravitate there and probably break down from there, in which case our support is going to be 4075.32, which is derived from this diagonal line of support. And this will be pretty strong support for us. Put call ratio is pretty bullish right now. And let me go and have a look at indicators. S&P 500 is looking pretty well perched on top of this diagonal line of support. We breached it, but we couldn't confirm it. So this still remains a line of resistance. And therefore, if we hit this, there is no guarantee that we are not going to fall down below this. So it will be very interesting to see the price action today. For today, the initial support is 4,811.43. It's not a very strong support. The next support is going to be 6,795.86, which is a strong confirmed support. So that's the range for today. Market sentiment, which was bearish, is coming back into close to neutral. There's plenty of ways to go, but it has improved significantly since the 21st of November to the 2nd of December. MACD is very bullish. Momentum is above average. Plenty of room on the RSI. Everything seems to indicate that we are likely to go for a bull run. I don't know how that is possible, but that's what the charts are saying. Same thing for NASDAQ as well. We'll have initial resistance for NASDAQ somewhere around 25,670. I would like to draw a rectangle out here. Let me see if I can have a rectangle. Where is the rectangle widget? Yeah, here is a rectangle. So this particular rectangle, I would like to start from the top here and pull it out and put it somewhere here. Mark this red and the internal also red. So this is a line of resistance that I see for us. It's a band of resistance. It will be difficult to break through this, but if we did break through this, then it will form a very effective support. So that's what I'm looking at today for NASDAQ, and support could potentially come at 25,561.90. Next, let's look at QQQ, which is up 0.26% in pre-market trades. Now, let us use the same rectangle and draw the rectangle the way it would appear out here. So this is my rectangle. Just pull it out a little bit to this side so that we can see it completely. So this is our range, which is going to form the role of resistance. And on top of that, we have this diagonal line of resistance. So the resistance is quite strong for QQQ this morning, even though it is up 0.27%. So in my opinion, we are going to see some resistance today at around 625.35. We're also going to see resistance at 623.57, and potentially we'll have support at 619.46 for QQQ. With that said, I would like to go and have a look at gold, which I forgot to see earlier. So here we have gold, which is, yeah, I think we already covered gold. So I'll just move across to AI. NVDA, it's up 1.33%. Amazon Web Services will use NVIDIA's NVLink Fusion Tech in future AI chips. AWS new Trainium 3 chips promise 4 times the performance and 50% lower training costs than NVIDIA's GPU. So NVIDIA is going to compete against NVIDIA. The prices are going up. The stock price is up 1.34% today. And we had a resistance at 183.61, which now seems to have become a support in the pre-market session. And yesterday we pierced this support, but we came back down. And there was a very small body of the candle, and we had a very small wick on the downside. And today we have to see whether we're going to get a red candle. A red candle will happen if we fall down below this back again. This is not a confirmed support, it's a resistance. It's a confirmed resistance. So breaking through this is going to be difficult. So I would visualize that at the end of the day, if things did not go the way it should, because PMI didn't come out properly, services PMI didn't come out properly, then we'll see a candle similar to what we are seeing here from yesterday. That's what we'll see out here, a red candle, probably with a small body, and maybe it could end up being looking like a topping tail candle. So that's what I'm thinking might happen. Meta is up 0.25% in pre-market trade, resistance at 651.87 today, and support is likely to be at 647.87. Google is up 0.28% in pre-market trade. I believe we are forming a bullish pennant out here. There is also still the possibility open that we might try to do a gap fill before we break out on the upside. Amazon is up 0.49% this morning, and I think what we have seen here is a whole lot of selling pressure. Even though buyers came in, there were a lot of sellers who are willing to sell it, and we are still having this flagpole. Let me measure the flagpole now and see where we are. So I would say this flag has begun from here, and it has gone all the way down here. So we are more than 50% on the flagpole. So this is no longer a bear flag in my opinion. So I would like to see what happens next. This could be a topping tail and become a bearish factor, but we are seeing a plus 0.50% this morning. If we take out 239.12, then I would become bullish again on this, but right now I'm going to be neutral. And let us see Apple. Apple is flat in pre-morning trade, and we still have a target of around 296.50. I believe we are moving in that direction towards that target. Now let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is down 0.06%, and we will have a resistance at 495.04. We'll also have a support at 486.38. You'd see that the momentum is below average, and I think as Google starts getting much better news and much better traction, as people start doubting the capability of OpenAI's ChatGPT against Gemini 3, and the ability of the Google chips, which are now going to power Meta vis-a-vis NVDA. So all of those things are going to make Google stronger, and that is going to have an impact, adverse impact on Microsoft. That's my feeling. And remember, Warren Buffett has got Google stocks, and those stocks are not going to be in the market for quite a while. He's a long-term holder. So all of those factors make me favor Google more than Microsoft. And that could also account for the lack of momentum out here. I would watch this more carefully going forward. Microsoft is not out of the woods yet. Tesla is up 0.88% in pre-market trade. We have pierced this diagonal line of resistance and made it into a support, but it's not a confirmed support. Therefore, today we could fall back down again. Yesterday was a doji candle. It's an indecision. It's a small body with long wicks on either side. There was a bit of indecision. Let us see what decision the market makes. If you look at the cost of Tesla vehicles, they are very expensive vehicles. The Cybertruck cost has been increased recently. And if you look at other EVs across the world, they are all less expensive. And the only reason Tesla is able to increase the prices is because they have scale, and because there is this huge tariff that makes imported EVs more expensive. And raw material for imported raw materials for foreign competitors manufacturing EVs in the US is also expensive because aluminum and others are tariffed. So that's a level playing field for them with Tesla. But in terms of global footprint foreign EV manufacturers have bigger footprint outside of the USA and smaller footprint within the USA. So that's the dynamic I'm looking at out there. None of the Chinese EVs are available in the US. So these are all factors which are giving support to Tesla. And I think we are still tracking for 351.42, which is the target for the double top. And if we breach this diagonal line of support and we convert this into a support, then I will change my opinion and wait to reevaluate what's happening out there. Next, let's look at Oracle, which is up 1.91% in pre-market trades. Some of the analysts like Deutsche Bank and HSBC are remaining positive on Oracle, citing strong earnings growth and a promising AI backlog, even amid recent drop in stock price on fears of high financial leverage. So all of those things are going to help steady the ship for Oracle. The stock price may start consolidating. What I'm looking forward to next is consolidation, and breaking out from this diagonal line of resistance, converting this into a support, and using this horizontal line of support at 196.21 as a consolidation base, starting from 21st of November 2025 onwards. And then after breaching this diagonal line of resistance and converting into a support, I would like to see us start moving upward again. So there is more consolidation ahead for Oracle, in my opinion. AMD is up 0.84% in pre-market trades. It will have a strong resistance at 237.13. It will have some amount of support at 210.09. SMCI is up 1.61%. I would hold that SMCI is the weakest among the AI stocks. It has got resistance at 34.06. This, in my opinion, is a bear flag in the making, and the probability of breaking downside is much higher than the probability of breaking up on the upside. And it's going to get some support, initial support, somewhere around 32.84, and ultimate support somewhere in the region of 31.06. Broadcom, its futures are linked with Google, so it's going to continue to do well. This could amount to a bull flag or a bullish pennant formation. So I'd like to watch what happens next. The negative for this stock is that it has confirmed 386.85 as a resistance with the action from yesterday. So we'll have to see what happens with today's candle. Today's candle is going to find strong resistance from 387.48, which has become a confirmed resistance, and it will get some amount of support at 378.04. Palantir is up 0.68% in pre-market trades, and it's got this diagonal line of resistance, which is going to provide a resistance at 172.00. Pre-market we are at 171.85, and yesterday we formed a high-pressure selling candle. There was a lot of people willing to buy, but they got sold down. And we have a hammer shaped like a topping tail, which is a very bearish kind of a candle. So the bearish candle, along with this strong resistance, is making me feel that Palantir will not be able to hold its positives for the rest of the day. If it holds, then I would learn something new. It could probably be because of the way ISM services PMI came up. So that's what I'm thinking. And next, SMH is up 0.72%, a very smart recovery, and the bear flag is more than compromised. So now I would like to look for some kind of pattern out here, bull flag or a bullish pennant, so that we can break out from there and go up. Nothing prevents the stock from having more green candles and just straight away going all the way up to this diagonal line of resistance. But when you look at the underlying, there are underlying stocks which have got different fortunes. So you could have some amount of consolidation in one place and then a move up or slightly a move down and so on and so forth. But we are definitely not very bearish. The market sentiment is bearish, but MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average and plenty of room on the RSI for it to go up. So I'm thinking that SMH is looking pretty decent. And then you look at Tempus AI, it's up 0.85% in pre-market trades, and you have selling pressure seen in all the candles out here. There was an attempt to go up and it has been pushed down significantly on each of these days, And our trend in the last 4 days is that we have been coming down and we have been getting support at 74.01. We'll again get support today at 74.01. That's my prediction for Tempus AI. That said, I would like to go and look at genomics, and in the genomics section, Prime is up 1.82%. Yesterday also it looked very positive, but it came down. This diagonal line of support seems to be the main player, and for today, it's going to give support at 3.22, and we'll have a resistance at around 3.52. Pre-market, we're at 3.36. Intel AI is up 0.37%. We are bearish. It's going to go down further. Caribou Biosciences is up 0.57%, but it's still looking like a bear flag that has broken out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the bear flag. This is the bear flag in my opinion, and it's more like a megaphone. And let me just take this here and pull it out. Okay, so this is my bear flag, and I would like to draw the flagpole. This is the flagpole. So if I take this flagpole, assuming we confirm today, for us to confirm today, we have to close below 1.75. Right now we are at 1.77. So if we close below 1.75, then I think we have a target of 1.31 for Caribou Biosciences, and we have a support at 1.50 in the interim. So this is the status for Caribou. I have Caribou. It's loss making. I made a mistake somewhere out here where I thought we were creating a bull flag, and I bought in advance, and I had to pay the price. So things went pear-shaped. Beam Therapeutics is up 0.90% in pre-market trade, but in my mind, this is a bear flag which has broken out on the downside, but I'd like to wait and watch what happens. Altimmune is up 0.84% in pre-market trades. We had a support at 4.79, which continues to be a support today because pre-market, we are up 0.84 and the pricing is at 4.80, which means we dropped down yesterday, but we may not confirm this as a resistance today if we close above this. So that's what I'm thinking is likely to happen for Altimmune. Editas is flat in pre-market trades. The chart is looking absolutely bearish. Illumina is up 0.13% in pre-market trade. I would like to think that we are creating a bull flag or a bullish pennant. That's what I'm aiming for. And I would like to watch a few more candles come up and then see and then reevaluate if we are marching towards a target of 151.89. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.33% in pre-market trades. It will have a resistance at around 53.28 and it will get some kind of a support, I think somewhere around 50.30 and then at around 48.40. Allogene has got no trades in pre-market session. Yesterday was a doji candle. Today we'll have resistance at 1.35. So that's what I'm thinking for Allogene. Grail is at 97.50. So it's going to get a support at 91.60 and it could potentially get the first resistance at 99.61. Right now it's at 97.50. So even if there's a gain, it's going to be a small gain as such. PSEB is down 0.43%. It has come very close to this diagonal line of support in the past, but still it has got a long way to come down to test the support at 2.16. Right now it's at 2.31. So at the most, it's likely to come down to somewhere around 2.22. And that will be our next support for today. And if it moves up, it's likely to get a resistance somewhere in the region of 2.36. ARCG is up 0.71% in pre-market trades. But in my opinion, I think this is a bull flag being created. So we'll have to see a few more candles to confirm either it is a bull flag or a breakout, or to see if it comes down below 50% of the length of the candle. If it does that, that means we are looking at a bearish signal. Vertex is up 1.19% in pre-market trades. This diagonal line of support is going to provide support to Vertex, and for today the support is going to be 427.87. Next, let's look at Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 1.05%, but it's a bear flag that has broken out, and therefore I'm going to say that it's likely to fall down significantly in the near future. And then we look at Precision, which is down 0.57% in pre-market trades, and therefore it's going to get resistance at 3.62, and it's going to get a support somewhere around 3.43. So that's what I think is likely to happen. Then we have Lilly. Eli Lilly is up 0.11%. Sorry, Eli Lilly is down 0.11% in pre-market trades. Our flag pattern has been disrupted. The flag has fallen 50%. So I think that we are creating some new trends out here. Now I would like to watch more candles come in and form some patterns. Either it could form a bearish pennant or a bearish bear flag, or it could continue to make red candles or green candles that continue to go down. So I would like to see what happens out there. Right now, I'm not too worried about Lilly. Let's look at Ultragenics. Ultragenics has got no trade in pre-market session, but for today, its support is 33.14. Next, let's look at currencies. Bitcoin USA. What the hell is happening with Bitcoin? Bitcoin is down 0.31% in pre-market trades. It's continuing to go down, and I'm thinking that I'm pretty happy to let Bitcoin go down further, and I would like to buy it when it's much cheaper. Let me go to the long-term chart, and this is where I got each candle performing the role of a month. So even though Bitcoin has dropped a lot, it's still way higher than where it had been before. So we are talking about being above 100,000. I think that's a big number, being above 100,000. Right now we are at only 93,000, and we have already fallen in the past up to 16,288. So compared to all of those things, we are in a pretty good situation as far as Bitcoin is considered. So let's go back to the one-day format, one-day time frame, recalibrate the chart, and look at what exactly is happening. So we got positive out here of 2.00. I think my chart was not updated when I saw it the last few seconds ago. So this changes my opinion. I think that we are improving a little bit. We have a resistance at 91,790.87, which we have breached for today. So this is going to play the role of a unconfirmed support. Unconfirmed support means if we come and hit this, we are likely to fall down. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the day, we have a red candle with a long wick and the body below this line of support. That's quite possible for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is quite volatile. At which point should we buy Bitcoin is what Omkar Sarangi is asking. Omkar, it's very difficult to talk about Bitcoin right now because personally I do not understand the mechanics that are happening out there. According to Hot Dog, what he has done as research, it seems like the big whales are buying this dip, and the number of people with a certain large number of Bitcoins, I think Hot Dog, you said 1,000 Bitcoins in their wallet. The number of people is 1,000 Bitcoins in the wallet has increased. So that means the whales are buying the dip. That's one news. Looking at Bitcoin is like blind men looking at an elephant. Someone feels the tail and says it's like a rope. Someone feels the leg and says it feels like a pillar. So I would say that from my perspective, I would go purely with the technical analysis. Technical analysis says that the chart is still bearish, market sentiment is bearish, tending towards neutral, MACD is bullish, momentum is below average. As long as momentum is below average, I do not trust the chart. So we'll have to see what happens. But for today, our resistance is going to be 97,070.63, and our support is likely to be 91,846, 91,846.35. That's going to be our support. I personally have Bitcoin. It is still profitable, but I'm looking at buying it somewhere below the 80,000s. So I'm going to wait. If I'm not able to buy it below the 80,000 and it just goes up, I don't mind, because whatever I have is anyway going to accrue profits. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So with that said, I think I would like to bring my video to an end, but before that, let me go and have a look at Intuit. What was it that yesterday? Yeah, it was nice. I think it was nice. Nice is now starting to move above. Okay. I think nice is in a good situation. Good. It's all looking good for nice. Well, friends, then I'm done with my analysis for the day. And I would like to wish you a very good day. And I'll catch up with you again in the next one. Bye for now.